The ghost of Dusty Rose. The sun beat down on the parched Nevada landscape, baking the dust to a fine powder that swirled with every gust of wind. A lone figure, clad in a worn buckskin jacket and a Stetson pulled low over her eyes, rode slowly across this desolate scene. This was Calamity Jane, her face etched with a grief as deep and enduring as the canyons that scarred the land. It had been 5 years since Dusty Rose, her heart's desire, had been laid to rest in the Boot Hill Cemetery. 5 years since the laughter had died in her eyes, replaced by a chilling fear that still haunted Jane's dreams. Dusty Rose, with her fiery spirit and gentle touch, had been the only one to see past Jane's rough exterior, to the love that beat beneath. But their love had been cut short, brutally and inexplicably. A sudden illness, a swift decline, and then the cold embrace of death. Jane had stood by her grave, the wind whipping her hair and tears freezing on her cheeks, vowing to find the truth behind Dusty Rose's demise. Her search had led her to dusty saloons and gambling dens, where whispers of foul play mingled with the clinking of glasses and the shuffling of cards. She'd learned of Jebediah Stone, Dusty Rose's distant kin, a man with a hunger for land and a reputation for ruthlessness. He had inherited Rose's spread upon her death, a spread that had been in her family for generations. Jane's gut clenched with a cold certainty. Jebediah had played a hand in Dusty Rose's death. But how? And why? Driven by a thirst for justice and a love that refused to die, Jane delved deeper into the murky world of cattle barons and land grabbers. She found her answers in the frightened eyes of a saloon girl, who spoke of hushed conversations and a strange concoction brewed in the dead of night. Jebediah, it seemed, had poisoned Dusty Rose, slowly and insidiously, with a deadly herb slipped into her evening tea. Rage, hot and consuming, coursed through Jane. She saddled her horse, her resolve hardened into steel. She would confront Jebediah, and he would pay for his crimes. The confrontation took place in the dusty main street of Harmony Gulch, under the unforgiving glare of the midday sun. Jebediah, flanked by his hired guns, sneered at Jane, his eyes filled with arrogance and disdain. "You got no proof, Calamity," he drawled, "just a woman's intuition and a broken heart." "I got more than that, Jebediah," Jane's voice was low and dangerous, "I got the truth." A tense silence hung in the air, broken only by the restless stamping of horses. Then, with a swiftness born of years spent on the frontier, Jane drew her Colt. The first shot rang out, echoing through the deserted street. Jebediah's sneer turned to surprise, then to fear, as he crumpled to the ground. The gunfight was brief and brutal. When the dust settled, Jebediah and his men lay sprawled in the dirt, their reign of terror ended. Jane stood amidst the carnage, her gun still smoking, her face a mask of grim satisfaction. Justice had been served, but the ache in Jane's heart remained. She rode back to Boot Hill, to the grave marked with a simple wooden cross. Kneeling beside it, she whispered, "Rest easy, my love. He'll trouble you no more." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the plains, Jane remained by Dusty Rose's grave, her grief mingling with a newfound peace. She would never forget her love, but now, finally, she could let go. The wind whispered through the dry grass, carrying with it the echoes of a love story that transcended even death, a ballad of love, loss, and revenge in the Wild West. If you are enjoying Adventures in the Old West channel, hit the like button for future posts.